The second technique for bleaching the non-vital tooth is known as the thermocatalytic bleaching technique. So as the name suggests, thermocatalytic, we are using a heat agent to activate the process. So basically the mechanism for this technique is heat activated H2O2. Remember this. In this technique, all the procedure are same as the walking bleach technique, but the agent or the bleaching agent used here is 30 to 35% of H2O2, which is placed into the pulp chamber and it is agitated or activated using a heated wand. This is the mechanism specially for this thermocatalytic bleaching technique. So the technique is the variation of the non-vital technique, that is walking bleach technique. The process is same, that the teeth should be root canal treated, then 1 to 2 mm gutta percha is removed, a barrier is placed, and after placing the barrier we are placing the bleaching agent, which is 30 to 35% H2O2, and that bleaching agent is agitated using heat. So what are the side effects of this technique? The number one side effect is cervical resorption. This is the most common side effect seen of this technique. Remember, this could be asked as an MCQ, so you have to remember this. The other key fact which you have to remember here is walking bleach is always preferred over the thermocatalytic bleach technique. The other important technique to remove the discoloration is known as microabrasion. Now this technique was given by the scientist McCloskey in the year of 1984. Remember the scientist. It was further modified by McCroll and Cavanaugh. So these are the scientists involved with the technique of microabrasions. What are the indication for using a microabrasion technique? When the superficialized generalized stains are in the range of, in the thickness of 0.2 to 0.3 mm into enamel. So then only you will use for microabrasion technique. So this technique uses the agent 18% HCl. This is important, can be asked in the MCQ. So remember the concentration of HCl plus pumice in the paste form. This is the agent used for microabrasion technique. This paste is applied once on the tooth surface with the help of the ice cream stick. The other technique is the macroabrasion technique. So Meritor's prep facts help you to remember the other technique. So here what happens, this is also used to remove the superficial located stains in the area 0.2 to 0.3 mm in enamel. But here we are using 12 fluted composite burr to remove the stains. So remember the difference, and these are important key facts to be remembered. Let's study the Meritor's extra cover points, which are very, very important for the exam. The first one is cervical resorption. This is the most common side effect or consequences in case of non-vital bleaching tooth technique. So this is important when you are talking about non-vital bleaching. The most common side effect or consequence is cervical resorption, and for vital teeth we have the consequence which is most common is apical periodontitis. MCQ can be asked on both these points. So remember the points. The third thing is the superoxole solution. This is 30% solution of H2O2 by weight and 100% by volume in pure distilled water. This also you have to remember. Then the fourth point, which is about the pulpal death. Pulpal death is considered as the most important cause or most common cause of tooth discoloration. So what happens in pulpal death? There is breakdown of hemoglobin into various pigments which causes this discoloration. These are hemin, remember the names, hematin. So this hemoglobin is breaking down in hemin, hematin, hemosiderin, hematophorphicin. Hydrogen sulfide is produced by bacteria which combine with these pigments and it darkens the tooth. So this is how tooth is discolored after the pulpal death. The other and the last point which you have to remember is the use of sodium ascorbate. Now what is sodium ascorbate? It is used before the composite in case of bleached tooth. As I already told, that bleaching agent prevents the polymerization of the composite composite. So you have to use this before applying a composite. It is a buffered form of vitamin C. Sodium ascorbate is considered as a buffered form of vitamin C, and the composition is 90% ascorbic acid and it is bound to 10% sodium. So it is a powerful antioxidant which is used to eliminate the residual oxygen following bleaching. So this slide is very, very important. It considers all the Meritor's extra cover points which will give you edge over the other participants. So let's study the important point related to the tetracycline medication discoloration. So what is the time period when you are taking in tetracycline which will result in discoloration? Each and every time period is important and can be framed into an MCQ for the exams. So tetracycline, when given from the time period mid pregnancy to 5 months of the extrauterine period, will result into the discoloration of only deciduous teeth. Remember, this is very, very, very important. When the tetracycline is given between the time period 3 months to 6 years of age, then they affect the crowns of permanent anterior dentition. So basically, this is the time period for the deciduous discoloration. The second one, that is 3 months to 6 years of age, is the time period for permanent anterior tooth discoloration. So it should be avoided from the time period 4 months in utero to 8 years. Very important. Tetracycline should be avoided 4 months in utero to 8 years of age. Many clinical studies have been done, and the average dose consumption which they have said is 20 to 35 milligram per kg body weight per day results in discoloration. So this dosage of tetracycline is important, can be asked in form of MCQ, and if the dose is 735 milligram per kg per day, it results in both discoloration as well as hypoplasia of the tooth or enamel. The other frequently asked question is, which is the most common consequence of bleaching a non-vital tooth? So here they have asked about the non-vital teeth. Let's go through the option. Discoloration, this cannot be the answer because bleaching is done to remove discoloration, like that is we are going back to the natural tooth color. So this is not the consequence. Then second is the cervical resorption. Now this is the, because it is asked about the non-vital teeth, this could be the answer because cervical resorption is most common in the non-vital teeth bleaching. The third is the apical periodontitis. This is wrong because this is seen in vital teeth. This is a consequence of vital teeth bleaching. And root resorption, this is a vague terminology, so this cannot be the answer. We have the answer which is cervical resorption. So the most common consequence of bleaching a non-vital teeth is cervical resorption. The other frequently asked question here for the dental bleaching is, the question says, in case of bleaching technique to remove the fluorosis stains. So what are the options we have? 1% ether removes the surface debris. This is a correct statement. Second is 36% hydrochloric acid etches the enamel. Yes, hydrochloric acid is to etch the enamel. This is also a correct statement. Then 30% to H2O2 bleaches the enamel. Yes, it is a bleaching agent, and 30 to 35% is usually the range for H2O2 which helps to bleach the enamel. So all these options can be used in proper order to remove the discoloration caused due to intrinsic or the fluorescent stains. So all the above can be the answer, and this is the correct answer for this question. If you see the options, you will remember the Mackin solution which has all this content. So you refer the lecture and you will see that one part is 1% ether, then the 5 parts of 36% HCl and 5 parts of 30% H2O2. These are all used for as a Mackin solutions to remove the stains.